Hi guys, Art with Miss H here. So I am in Kansas City today. I took a field trip and I am at the Nelson-Atkins Museum of Art. And I thought I'd just pop down for a fun museum trip and show you some of my favorite art pieces along the way. Alright, so if you know Claes Oldenburg, you know that he is known for large-scale sculptures of things that are on a much smaller scale normally. So he's taking this and transforming it into something that you see every day one way, but in a totally unexpected way in the museum setting. And so in 1991, the Nelson-Atkins got in touch with Oldenburg and asked him to do a sculpture for their museum. In preparation for this, Oldenburg and Van Bruggen went and toured and looked through the galleries of the art museum, and they came across a Native American headdress. And so the idea that they originally came up with would be feathers that had been scattered all over the lawn. But once they saw a picture of an aerial photograph of the Nelson-Atkins with its lawn and how it laid out on either side of it, they immediately changed their idea and reworked it. And so what they came up with is what we know now as the Shuttlecocks. And so the idea was that somebody had been playing badminton, maybe perhaps some giants or something, and the badminton shuttlecocks had been dropped on either side of the net, which was the Nelson itself. And so you can see that here in some of their initial sketches for this design. I think the reason that I love probably the Shuttlecocks the most is the story behind their choices for what they did for the museum. Just looking at the sketch and envisioning this being like a giant badminton area and the Nelson being the net is such a playful idea, and I think that's what really brings this sculpture to life, is the way that it works with its setting, and that play is what really draws this one into my heart, into one of my favorites as Oldenburg's. So if you're ever at the Nelson, you have to check this out. They are scattered across the lawn, both in the front of the museum, but also in the back. And then be sure to check out upstairs in the American art area the sketches that helped this idea develop and get underway. Now, the Shuttlecocks wasn't always beloved by Kansas City. In fact, there were a lot of people that thought it was really ugly. But over time, everybody has kind of gotten used to them being a symbol for the museum. And so now the museum and the Nelson and the Shuttlecocks are all kind of synonymous. They're all there together in a happy family. All right, so in this last picture, you can see me standing next to the shuttlecock, and you really get an idea of how huge this is. This would normally be something that I could hold in my hand, but here Oldenburg has enlarged it on such a scale that it would take 2 or 3 of me stacked up tall to try to be as tall as the shuttlecock. I really hope you've enjoyed seeing this glimpse of part of the Nelson-Atkins collection, and be sure to check back weekly on Monday for the latest posting. What's new on Art with Miss H. I'll see you next time.